Hello, and welcome to the 2020 National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. My name is Anika Einbeck, and I am the president of Monroe High School chapter of National Honor Society. We have gathered virtually to formally recognize those students who have been selected by the faculty of our school to successfully completing their candidacy and being inducted as new members of the NHS chapter. For current members and those former members who may be among our guests, we hope this will serve to remind you of the standards of excellence you too are charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition program. Our chapter is proud to have been inducting new members since 1921, and with today's ceremony indicates the continuing emphasis on excellence that we represent for our school and community. Throughout the year, members of our chapter serve as role models for other students. In addition to the strong academic rewards which establishes our ability for membership, our chapter members are leaders in many student organizations. We serve our school and community through many activities, including Christmas box packaging, as well as taking part in Read Across America. We are proud of this record and accomplishment and welcome these new members who bring in new energy in support of our continuing work as NHS members. At this time, we proclaim to all in the attendance that the membership in the Monroe High School chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by these candidates through the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve standards for the society. Members of the chapter will now review these qualities for the candidates. Scholarship. Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours of reading and studying, knowing the lasting benefits of cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends with the end of life. Knowledge is one of the great elements in life, which leads to highest success. It can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past. The torch is guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the chance to continually expand their world through opportunities inherent in scholarship. Now I'm going to share a short story about an individual, my sister and my role model, Allie Einbeck. She graduated from this very same high school just 3 years back. You may or may not have heard of her, but to this day, she is the hardest worker I know. School does not come as easy to her as it does to others, but that does not stop her from learning or getting good grades. I recall the summer of my freshman year walking into the living room at 7:30 a.m. and hearing her scream to the elements of the periodic table song. For those of you unfamiliar with this song, it's a song listing all the elements of the periodic table in order. Pretty intense if you ask me, but right there and then, that is why I knew I should always look up to her. She is not afraid to express her passion for learning. She couldn't care less about what others think. All that matters to her is that she's doing something she loves. Specifically, she loves learning about hearts. In fact, the other day, she texted me out of the blue saying, "Did you know the mouse's heart beats 309 times a minute? Isn't that awesome?" Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because this is what scholarship means to me. This characteristic is something each of you has inside, although you may not fully have acquired this yet, as I believe few people truly have. But as you continue to learn, everything will become easier and it will open up so many more opportunities for your future. For now, I hope you continue to desire and learn and enjoy the rewarding feeling of having an academic success and learning at a higher level.
Leadership. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and a will to go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a leader. Leadership is always needed, thus to lead is meaningful and substantive charge to each of only members. John Maxwell said, "Leaders become great, not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others."
My office is service. Service can be established in the routine of the day's work where many opportunities arise to help others both at school and in a community. A willingness to work for those who benefit and need without monetary compensation or public recognition is a quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow. Shep Hyken said, "Recognize that every interaction you have is an opportunity to make a positive impact on someone else's day."
Character is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality, our goodness. It is without which no one can respect ourselves nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character that guides one through life. Once developed, grows steadily with it. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be, in reality, what we wish to appear to others, to be rather than to seem. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
Sloane Ambrose, Braygan Antos, Ellery Bazley, Charlie Briggs, Taylor Brogy, Henry Brukwicki, Alicia Brunton, Isabella Brunton, Milena Brunton, Alvin Buholzer, Kaitlyn Elgin, Charlie Frehner, Breanna Guyson, Chris Guyson, Jacob Grebner, Sabrina Hanson, Heath Hutchett, Carson Leuzinger, Sierra McGuire, Kylie Miller, Kaitlyn Murphy, Nicholas Newcomer, Timothy Olson, Alyssa Roelli, Aaron Wright, Taylor Roofer, Lucas Sathoff, Elsa Schaefer, Trevor Schmitt, John Seagraves, Triniti Siedschlag, Matthew Sniff, Carter Steinman, Alexis Stoichkov, Amelia Southers, Hunter Southers. Brendan Swindle. Madison Swindle. Louise Torres. Marissa Vosberg. Olivia Wiegel.
And now welcome our principal, Mr. Menenwalt, who will offer congratulatory remarks to the new members.
Greetings. Thank you for watching and your participation in recognizing the outstanding young people at MHS. Thank you for inspiring them to excel in the pillars of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Congratulations to the inductees. Your perseverance and hard work has paid off, and you've earned the right to call yourself a National Honor Society member. To the inductees and current members, I challenge you to live the pillars of character, service, leadership, and scholarship. In particular, I'd like to ask that you consider your demonstration of character. Character, as we've heard, is upholding principles of morality and ethics, is cooperative, demonstrates high standards of honesty and reliability, shows courtesy, concern, and respect for others. I'd like to for you to consider your concern for others. What does that even mean? Particularly in our country today, there are demonstrations daily about how people are treated. Does it mean being sympathetic to a cause? Volunteering on weekends? Participating in a protest or demonstration? Possibly. But maybe you can start by putting yourself in someone else's shoes. In one word, empathy. What's empathy? Daniel Goleman, the author of Emotional Intelligence, states, "Simple inattention kills empathy, let alone compassion." So the first step in compassion is to notice the other's need. It all begins with the simple act of attention. Ask yourself, if you are attentive to those around you, do you notice when someone is left out? Do you notice when someone is mistreated, when someone is in pain, when someone is in need? Stephen Covey, author of one of the most successful leadership books ever, examines empathy in his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. His 5th habit, seek first to understand. He writes, we typically seek first to be understood. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. They're either speaking or preparing to speak. We want to be understood, but we don't take the time to understand, to listen, to be empathic. Do you take time to listen? Really listen to those that you see every day? Do you listen to those who you care about? I hope so, because empathy can be a powerful motivator for yourself and for others. So how exactly do you show empathy? It might take courage or sacrifice. You may have to choose an unpopular decision. As the saying goes, what is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. However, by empathizing with others, you will help them and learn from them. I ask that you notice others, understand others, listen to others, and stand up for others, and empathize with others, particularly for those whose voices are marginalized or discarded. There are countless examples in our country today of this happening, and unfortunately, empathy for others seems to have become political. Caring for others is not political, it's human. If being an NHS member is only meaningful for your resume or your application to college, then this all may be hard. If being an NHS means that it takes more, if it means you must lead by example, if it means you must make Monroe High School better, then welcome to the club. I congratulate each of you on your induction to National Honor Society, and I look forward to your demonstration of character. I look forward to all that you do as you empathize with others at MHS. The school needs your scholarship, your leadership, and your service. But more than anything, we need your demonstration of character. Congratulations.
At this time, will the new inductees please rise, raise your right hand, and repeat the pledge. The audience can follow the text as printed in your program. Please join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge to uphold the high purpose of National Honor Society to which I have been selected, I will be true to the principles of which it stands and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Bochar and Mrs. Felsen for their hard work on organizing this year's induction ceremony. Thank you all for attending this NHS induction ceremony.